you do that to yourself?
I love chaos. My name's Dave.
And I'm Sean, without my mug. Turn it around. Oh, there he is.
Yep. Together, we are Barstools and Bandtalk, and we have, what's it Sean calling now, a barn burner here tonight. This lady's up in Toronto, Ontario. She's got a lot of things to share. She does a heart tribute band. She's got her own gig, and she's affiliated with some maritime roots here, too, I think, and Sean will talk about that a little bit. Go ahead, Sean, why don't you introduce her?
Well, we're going to introduce Valerie here in a second. Our good buddy Steve Marsh connected her to us. Steve was a huge fan of a band called Moxy that probably a lot of the people on this show will know of. Really interesting story. So without further ado, we're going to have Valerie Shearman come on, and we're going to chat it up.
Yep, chat her up. Chat if you got him. Bam, there she is. It's Valerie Shearman, all the way from Toronto, Ontario.
That's me.
How we doing? So we said it in the intro. So Stephen Marsh connected us. He's a huge Moxy fan. He shared a ton of stuff, and then you were gracious to send a lot of pictures and videos and all that. Let's just start with that, because you and I talked a couple times on the phone. You're 21 years old.
Yeah.
And you're married to. Tell us about Buzz, because it's a very interesting story.
Yeah, well, I was married to Buzz, and we had a child together. Well, we have a child together. And we were living, I mean, I could go back far when I met him, but I mean, you know, I could take you up to nearing the end of times. We were in Halton Hills. But going back in time, I was just like a punk with the guys of the band. And the video I gave you that you saw that he was at the CNE, I was actually in the beginning part of that there. And I was just a punk back then. And, you know, it was a lot of fun back then with the guys in the band. And then going up through the years, the guys were together for quite some time. And then they had a bit of a falling out where he went to work in a band called Buzzsaw. And I don't know if you remember him playing in a band called Buzzsaw back then.
Steven sent me some info about it for sure. So I saw some clips, and yes, for sure.
Well, if anybody out there, just so I can mention that really quick, we are right now currently looking for any of the footage from Buzzsaw. If anybody out there has it, we're looking for it. And I get a lot of people asking me about it all the time. So I am on a global search for Buzzsaw. Anyhow, I love that band as well. So they did decide to go back together again, because Moxy is Moxy, and they're an awesome band. And we were living in Halton Hills at the time. And Buzz had passed away the week before they were actually getting back together again. Oh. Which is really quite sad. Buzz died on a Tuesday. Thursday was their first rehearsal back. And we were on a farm, and I was boarding horses. And we had 25 head of cattle and 12 horses. And I had a little baby. And it was tough. It was tough, but we got
How old's that baby now?
He's 35.
Wow.
35.
Yeah. And he's a great tattoo artist. He's an awesome tattoo artist. And he has his own shop here in Toronto, and he's got all kinds of awards and trophies. And he's done every kind of stars tattoos you can imagine. They fly him around all over the place in New York and that. And he's done really well.
Nice.
So shout out. What's his name, Valerie?
Jesse Shearman.
Okay. Jesse Shearman.
J-E-S-S-E, and it's Red 9 Tattoos. Red with the nine in the middle, I-N-E.
We will get a plug for that for sure.
Yeah, thank you so much, guys. Appreciate it.
So when we talked, I mean, there's a ton of stories, and there's a bunch of different things that we shared. But there was a connection with Buzz to a gentleman some people might know by the name of Bon Scott.
Yes.
And I don't know how much you're comfortable with telling. You told me a few things, but why don't you tell us about that?
Well, you know, I was pretty young when I met Buzz. I really didn't know AC/DC that well until I just knew Moxy, and I knew that they were going on tours with these guys called AC/DC, but I didn't really know who they were back then. And but I knew they played kind of similar, kind of heavy music together. So Buzz and Bon, which I didn't really know him all that well, I never met him personally, but he used to come home with all the stories and told me that after each concert, I'm sure the guys at Moxy will attest to this, they used to play cards after, and you know, just have fun playing cards. And You know, Buzz would come home with a couple guitars out of the blue, and he won them in the card games with these guys. It was kind of weird. I'd be hanging them on the walls and didn't really know what we had, but he'd win them off these guys playing cards backstage. Yeah. So
It was the card shark, you're
yeah.
trying to say, eh?
So apparently Buzz and Bon became quite connected. They were good friends. Even the guys in the band could probably attest to that. And Buzz said, you know, they became pretty good buddies. And they like to sit down, have cheers the odd time, but they were on the shows. They opened up for one another on the road. Like Moxy would open up for AC/DC, or AC/DC would open up for Moxy, and, you know, some great shows that they did together. So Buzz would tell me all these crazy stories. You know, what band doesn't have crazy stories, right?
Yeah.
Sure. Well, and you had mentioned Bon Scott passed away in 1980, and there was is this a rumor or is it fact that
No.
Buzz was potentially going to be tapped to
Yes,
replace?
that's the truth. I got the phone call, and Moxy was playing in Vancouver at the time, and I got a call from one of the guys at the agency, and Neil Dixon, remember Dixon and Propaz a long time ago?
Absolutely.
So Neil Dixon wanted to head this project where they were asking to see, this was 6 months after Bon had passed away. So they wanted to know if Buzz wanted to come and, I guess, audition. I guess they were looking at for other guys as well, and see if he wanted to, you know, play in this album that was already written, Back in Black. And so I said, wow, you know, I don't know if I think they wanted to go through me for some reason. I don't know. I think now that maybe I could talk to him about it, and because we'd have to, you know, kind of pack up and go to LA at that point in time. And I didn't know, they didn't know if he wanted to really uproot his life. So anyway, they did ask Buzz, and Neil Dixon called me, and they were all going to get together. And, you know, Neil Dixon was going to manage Buzz going for this audition. And Buzz just kind of stamped his feet and just really didn't want to do it. He felt really spooked out about it. Bon was a friend, and he didn't feel comfortable. It was 6 months after. Everybody said, oh, he lost his voice. He didn't lose his voice. Buzz's voice was fine. That guy could still talk after screaming all night long. Might be a bit of a whisper, but he could still sing. There's nothing wrong with his voice. I don't know why that they said that on Wikipedia. I tried to fix that, but nothing wrong with his voice. He was spooked out about it. He just didn't want to do it. That was his friend. And also he didn't want to leave he had his family here, and he really felt a camaraderie to the guys in Moxy. Okay. So I think that's more what was going on. That's the truth.
Wow. Okay. Cool story though. That's really neat, you know.
Yeah.
So what year is it that Buzz passed away?
Buzz died in 1983.
Okay. And so had you already started? Go ahead.
Pardon me?
I was wondering if
he died on June 6, 1983.
Okay. Had you already started your musical career by that point?
When Buzz met me, I was singing country.
Okay.
I was a girl sitting there with my guitar and singing country. Yeah, he liked me singing songs to him, Patsy Cline and Janis Joplin and all kinds of stuff. But yeah, we were going to one day play together. He said, one day you're going to rock out with me on stage. I said, oh, no, I'm not a rock singer. He said, when I finish with you, you'll be a rock singer. I said, okay. And look at what am I doing? I'm a rock singer.
Absolutely. When you and I chatted, because Dave's going to roll his eyes now, but I lived in Toronto for 7 years. I actually used to work very close to where his accident happened. I think he said Rexdale on 427. Is that right?
Correct. Yeah, right in the corner, right near the hospital there.
Right. So you told me 21 years old at that point. And you also told me, I'm not going to say that you told me you were expecting it, but you were kind of maybe telling him that he maybe needed to settle down or, you know, just be a little smarter. And, you know, and so he passes away. You're 21 years old. You've got a kid. You got that farm. What the hell do you do?
Yeah, well, that was in June. So the summer was it was kind of weird. It was a very strange summer, but nobody wanted me to be by myself. So I had a lot of people up at the farm. You know, there were a lot of campfires and nobody left me alone. So I didn't really have time to have any peace, but it was good because I didn't really think about it. And I had a business. I was boarding horses and I had customers coming up and I had horses to lunch. I had a little baby and I should have sent you some of those pictures too. I had foals being born, and some creepy things were happening at the farmhouse. It was kind of a strange time. And I had all these beautiful friends over, like beautiful blonde girls. So everybody knew my farm because all the gorgeous girls were there. So there's a lot of horseback riding going on. But then the fall came, and September came, and it was. I started to really think about it. That's what I was talking to you about. And I thought, you know what? I don't know if I can do the winter by myself because all goes back home. And I've got all these horses and cows, people living in the house with me, strangers. I'm a little baby. So I thought, you know what? I don't know if I can do this. And if there was an emergency, it gets snowed in, I'd have to get a helicopter to come in and land to go to hospital. So I thought, you know what, I'm being smart. And I just dropped the business and took most of my animals to the auction and sold them privately. And all the boarders came back and picked up their animals, and I moved back to Toronto. And then the music business got a wind of that, and they offered me some work. They said, well, you're coming back to Toronto. Let's help Valerie. Like Music Express, meant to keep sharp,
Yep.
keep sharp. He kind of did an article, and I guess the record company saw that and said, hey, Valerie, why don't you come and work for us? So let's help you out. You know, you need some work. And so I went to work at A&M Music, which was Arc Sound back then. And they had Anne Murray. They had so many different, but they had a lot of artists. But they had an independent pressing company called Precision Music. And I worked there with the guys, and they trained me all about the manufacturing business. And we did all the independent manufacturing. So I did, you know, Messenger, and I was doing Aerostar, and we were doing all kinds of different artists that had come to us with smaller runs. And I ended up being the manager of this thing. It was kind of cool. So the guys ended up leaving, and I was by myself at Precision Records, and I was there for like 2 years. And then they ended up selling Arc Music or A&M Records. It was both the same. And I acquired the Moxy catalog at that point in time.
Oh, cool.
That's what I acquired, because the Moxy was owned by them at this point in time. Started with Polydor, and then it ended up with A&M Music. So I ended up with that. And I was always very close to the guys in Moxy all throughout the years. They're like my brothers. I still talk to them today.
That's cool.
Mainly I talk to Earl. Earl's like my bro.
But you're still involved in the record business, right? You're still involved with that business, are you not?
Oh yeah, I am. Because I've known so many people, after I left A&M Music, I ended up going to work at A&M Records because Arc Sound sold to a company, the plant to a company in Windsor. And then, so I was just so fortunate because they'd call me. I didn't call anybody. That was a nice thing. And so A&M Records called me and said, hey, Val, would you like to come and work in production here? I said, sure. So I went to A&M for quite some time. I worked with Janet Jackson, Bryan Adams. It was so great. I had so much fun. And then, of course, Virgin and A&M, they were all merged and bought out. And then from there, I get another call, yet another call, and I get a call from Q107 and CFGM. And I started at the CFGM to learn radio. And I started working in radio with CFGM doing country. And that's where I really kind of picked up doing my country again. And then I was working with Greg Slate. Greg Slate owned CFGM, and Gary Slate had Q107.
Okay.
So then when they were merged together, and then one became talk radio, and then the other one, so they moved me from CFGM to Q107 down to Blur and Young. So I was there quite some time, and I'm still doing music. I haven't stopped.
Well, I love your A&M story because A&M, I actually was in a band that got signed to A&M, but they didn't call me. We chased them for a year and a half. So
oh, you're kidding.
Happy for you.
Oh, so you must have known Max Hutchison.
A little bit. We worked with a fella that was, I tell you what happened is they have the East Coast Music Awards down here, and we did a showcase, and they started kind of being interested in us. And the guy's name was Pablo. I can't remember his last name.
Oh, worked in the A&R department.
That 100%. Yeah, long-haired dude.
Yeah, I was there. He moved out when I was gotten in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a while ago. But what happened?
Well, so what happened is I think you and I talked about, we signed with Donnie Boys, or Donnie Boys.
Yeah,
It was up
remember
there.
Donnie Blaze, agent? Yeah.
Yeah, and Donnie basically told us to come off the road, start writing, get day jobs, and a couple of the other guys decided they wanted to put a Black Crowes tribute band together, and that was the end of the band. So.
Oh, yeah, you look.
But can say that I got signed to A&M Records, so got a good demo out of it. So that was pretty cool.
Wow, that's really good. Yeah, I wasn't in that. And when they left and I went to radio, I stayed in contact with everybody, and especially with Max Hutchison, which he works now down on Music Row in Nashville for different writers. So he's now a song pusher. He'll pitch
nice.
songs to different artists. He's doing really good. He plays his songs. So I worked with Max for a long time. I actually recorded their music the odd time. Like my new Christmas single was written from the guys down in Nashville. I just sang it here and released it.
Very
So I was doing that for a while until I said, oh, forget it, I'm going to start writing my own music.
Well, let's talk about that for a second, Valerie. I like to hear about your own music. It's kind of cool that you can do that now. You can have a whole series of writers down in Nashville, and you can record and sing in Toronto, with all the new cyber technology, what have you. Let's hear about your music.
Yeah, well, the funny thing was I've done a few records with independent bands. So I was Valerie and the Dreamcatchers, because that had been, we were doing a real heavy rock thing. So we did that for a while. And then the next album, I thought, you know what, I'm going to go a little bit more mainstream, some more radio. And heavy rock is it's a real kind of almost like a niche almost now. So I wanted to change things up a little bit, and I ended up working with a band down in Georgia.
Oh, nice.
Now these guys are amazing, and I hired them I sent them down on guitar, just me singing my songs, and then they recorded it down in the studio down in Georgia and sent me back the stems, and I did everything else here. And that's some of the music that you hear already that I sent you off my CD.
Yeah.
So so these guys are fantastic. They're so fast, and they sent me all the stems, and I recorded the vocals, harmonies. They did some, and then I did some other overdubs and that. We mixed everything here. And that's some of the songs that you hear today. And She's Everybody's Daughter is actually doing really good. I'm totally tickled pink that I got #1 on Country Music Countdown, and we're on the top 100. And now my song Broken is out. And I've got a great radio tracker, by the way, everybody out there. You call Jerry Young with Current Management. He's awesome. The guy is true to the bone, and he'll really promote your songs. And he works that phone like anybody's business. So I'm currently with Current Management. And also I'm an independent artist too.
Awesome.
So I like being independent because I can do my own thing, and you don't have to be kind of stuck. And I'm also writing music for some TV shows right now. And I'm collaborating with, do you ever remember a band called Broken Social Scene?
Yep.
Okay. Well, I'm writing with some of the guys there, and I've got some new songs coming out with them. I'm also working with an artist by the name of Errol Starr. Remember Errol? Errol Starr Francis.
Okay.
And I'm currently writing with him. And we've done a duet soon coming out called Once Upon a Time.
Nice.
And I'm doing a lot of things. And I'm writing for a fishing show.
Okay.
So,
What don't you do? You must have more money than God.
Oh no, I'm struggling like them all. I'm just like hustle. I like to work hard.
Yeah, no, I like that. I mean, you're a lot of irons in the fire. I mean, that's a music business, right?
Yep.
I'm doing one other show called Horse Rescue Heroes.
Okay.
And they're out of Tennessee, and playing some of my music in different episodes. So it's
Very cool.
Good.
And your agent is too, because when I talked to you a few weeks ago, I seem to recall that your agent was the same agent that I was with when I was in Ontario. Who's your agent again?
Mandy, Booking House, the Booking House?
Yeah, Booking House, yes.
All right. Roger and Andy Lapointe.
Yes.
Well, for the most part, I've been with Roger and Andy as a tribute act. I'm in a tribute show. It's called Just Heart. And I'm Ann Wilson in the show. So it's a real show. And guess who my guitar player is?
Who?
The lead guitar player for Moxy.
Ah,
Rob
Earl.
Robbins. No, Rob Robbins.
Oh, nice. That's cool. That's cool.
He's actually the producer of my show. He's done a great job. He's a great boss to work with. And he's organized that whole show. It's absolutely perfect.
so pre-COVID days now, Valerie, how often were you playing with the Heart Tribute Band?
A lot. We had a
Yeah.
lot. We were going down to Mississippi. We had a whole U.S. tour
Oh,
going
wow.
on. It was really busy. COVID came, and I just about fainted. We had all our P2s. We're ready. We're starting in New York, and then we're going up to Pennsylvania. I was just so sick with it. But you know what? Because we're all in the same boat, you can't feel for yourself. You feel for all the shows that lost so much work.
Well,
But it was such a hard time getting all those shows ready on the phones all year long, and then boom, shut down.
Well, I did a really smart thing. I put every one of my shows in my phone. So every weekend I got a reminder of how many shows I was missing and how much money was going out the window. So I feel pain.
You
Yeah.
just don't forget, like how much. Oh,
you watch the show sometimes, Valerie, and you see him really cranky. That's because you lost a couple grand that weekend. It makes him really.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? I really feel for you because we all felt the same way, and we're all still struggling and trying to make it in the music. And let's hope the government does something for us out there.
That's right.
Here it would be Doug Ford having to support us to, get ahead with the music because that was our job, to be with the crowds.
That's right.
Yeah.
We're in the crowd, we had people, and until I guess this vaccine comes through and whatever people end up doing, without getting political, it's up to people to do what they're going to do. But let's hope we get our lives back again.
That's
But
right.
right
No,
now,
agreed.
virtually, we're out here virtually.
Because it's down here, and I mean, our numbers are pretty good, but you can't play a bar or go to a bar, but you can go to a food court in a mall and see a packed. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense, and it's a little bit frustrating.
I
Yeah.
know it's crazy. I don't get it either. I don't. Like I'm shopping in stores. I go, there's so many people here, but we
Yeah.
can't even have them far enough back. I mean, I just did a TV show. We have all these shields on the stage.
And you
You
folks are going into a full lockdown as of Boxing Day. But it's
I
okay
know.
to shop up until then. Yeah. It's interesting.
Yeah, that's
But
right.
We're not a political show, but we're definitely going to shine a spotlight on the folks who are suffering, and like yourself as an artist, like some of the folks that you had been talking to, your road crew, your management team, everybody is hurting from this whole thing. So we're doing our very, very best to shine that bright light on those folks who are hurting because of that. So
I
we
know.
appreciate you being on the show and talking about all this stuff for sure, because
I
we
know.
don't always get a bird's eye view of what's happening in Toronto, and thank you for
Yeah.
sharing that with us.
And we all know people that have been sick with this COVID, and it's not a nice thing. So we totally understand. We're being safe. I'm always wearing my mask. I'm always taking care of where I go. Like us guys, we have to be careful. We're not young, so we have to be very careful. So I'm totally respect the laws that way. And we're just praying that we get our lives back one day soon. And
100%.
yeah, that's why I like to write story songs.
Well, so on that note, when we post this interview, where can our viewers go to find out what you're doing, find out more about you, find out about Moxy, the whole shooting
Sure.
match?
Well, Moxy has their own website, so there you just go to moxy.com, or Earl Johnson has his own website as well. You just go to earljohnson.com, I believe, and you can find Earl on Facebook.
Okay.
Also, for myself, it's just valerieshearman.com, but remember, it's SHEARMAN. And you'll find me on Facebook. I'm on Twitter. I'm on everything.
I sent you a friend request today, Valerie, so we'll see how that goes.
Oh, sorry. I'll make sure I see that.
No. Think about it, because usually goes friend request and stalker. I'm just gonna give you the heads up right now.
That's nice. You're such an
yeah.
asshole. You really are
okay.
an asshole.
Right. Anyway,
No,
I
You don't know
so,
well yet.
I'm going to send you a friend request, Valerie, but maybe you can send, you sent a couple links, but as you have material coming out, we'd be happy to promote it and get it out
Absolutely.
there, because
thank you. What if I send you a link to the album, or
please do.
and I'll mail you a CD out there? I know that's old school, but I can
No, we
send
like
you
that.
both.
We're old
And-
school.
Yeah, and also you can find my Just Heart show. It's called justheartshow.com, or just go Just Heart on Facebook, International Tribute to Heart.
Right on.
So cool.
And and your son, where can we work him?
Oh, you can find Jesse Shearman, same CHEARMAN, and it's red and then the number 9 and then INE.com.
Okay.
And you'll check out those cool tattoos. I'm going to get one this year, by the way.
All
Oh,
right.
I need some new ink, so
All right, go to Jesse.
yeah. If I get up to Toronto, I will for sure.
Please do. Drop in the shop anytime, he says.
I'm going to get one called COVID negative on my forehead so they don't have to take my temperature
Good
anymore.
idea. Make everybody feel comfortable. I love
Yeah,
that. Great idea.
That's what it's all about.
So many stories.
Yes. Well, so we're going to get that out, Valerie. I really appreciate you doing this, and I'm sorry it took so long. I know your teeth look fantastic, by the way, because I know you get dental work.
I feel very comfortable now.
Yeah.
Thank
Give
you.
give us a smile before we wrap. There we go. Fantastic.
Thank you guys.
And I will send you the friend request, and
Yeah. And
let's stay in touch.
we could plan to come down and play through your area.
Absolutely.
Plan that.
Yep.
That is a plan.
We are the
Yep.
right people. We're going to make a lot of shit happen this year if it kills us.
Thank
Yeah.
you so much. Please keep me posted. I'm going to go accept those Facebooks right away.
All
I'm
right.
going to send it right now. Thanks, Valerie.
Laurie,
Okay,
thank you so much. You stay safe up there, hon. And thanks for all the stories. And we're looking forward to seeing, what kind of feedback you get from our audience watching your stuff.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, everybody out there. Great following everybody else as well.
Thanks a lot.
Okay.
Take care. Peace out.
Okay. Peace.
See you later.
Barstools